Hello again, YouTube. And now it's time to drive the forbidden fruit in North America, the Renault Megane GT 2016. This is such a privilege. So, let's do it. We're going to go right ahead into sport mode with the auto start-stop function off because I think it's really annoying, and I'm really sorry about the bad camera angle. I have to record this with my phone. So, yeah, and there's a lot of glare from the sun as well. So, I'm excited. I'm one of the few people who's going to get a chance to drive a Renault Megane GT in North America. And by the way, this is perfectly road legal, so don't ask me any more questions. All right, right off the bat, very smooth. And she's still warming up a little bit, but at low speeds is when you can really feel that traction control, sorry, not traction control, four-wheel steering just working, rear wheel steering working. And at high speeds you don't feel it working, but it's doing its thing in the background. And it's just so smooth, it's so well damped and so quiet, and there's a good, there's good sound deadening in this car. It's such a well executed car, and this dual clutch system is fantastic. It is just amazing. It's great around town. It doesn't lurch around, and it's very fast in sport mode. And this car is a lot of fun to drive. And again, I cannot believe that we don't get cars like these in North America. Like, we've just been so screwed. Like, this would be an absolutely amazing alternate to the GTI, or anything in that bracket, really. I don't know, an STI. This thing is fabulous to drive. It gets great fuel economy because it's a 7-speed dual clutch, and then it's only a 1.6 turbo. It's got good horsepower numbers as well. So I don't see why we don't get these. Come on, Nissan, give us Renaults, give us Peugeots, whatever else they have in France and whatever else they have in Europe that we don't get. So there's a lot of traffic, but let's talk about a few of the things that really stand out. So there's the rear wheel steering, which is absolutely fantastic during low speed maneuvers as well as high speed cornering. Not so great when you're just going straight on the highway and you make a quick lane change. It kind of intervenes, and it's a little bit discerning, but you have to get used to it. The dual clutch auto transmission, fantastic unit, 7 speeds. Shifts are nice and quick, nice and crisp, very smooth. Clutch actuation is very smooth. And this car has a lot of standard features. It has a good amount of airbags, and thank you, sir. So a good amount of airbags, and in sport mode, this thing really livens up. So the shifts get faster, the throttle response gets, more sharper, and, the auto start-stop function turns off. The traction control is, is less intervening. It doesn't bother you, and, I mean, it is a front-wheel drive car, but it does not torque steer. And that's really, I mean, yes, you can get it to torque steer if you're absolutely wild with it, but it's really difficult to get this thing to torque steer. And the engine has a great note. So keep in mind, there's no sound piping inside the cabin or anything. Oh my God, this thing handles beautiful. Wow. Just instantaneous downshifts. Wonderful gearbox. I love the paddles. I love the dual clutch transmission in this car, and I'm a stick guy for life. But as a daily driver, for somebody who does not, is looking for a dual clutch option, this would be a great option. And again, we don't get to have these cars, and we don't get to enjoy this thing. It is a fabulous car, this Renault Megane GT, and it's great on the highway. Very quiet, very smooth, and Creeping in this car is not an issue like a lot of older SMG single clutch units or even modern dual clutch units. They're getting a lot better, I have to say, and this thing is no exception. This thing is absolutely fantastic, and while this thing is not the fastest thing out there, it's a lot of fun to drive in a way that hot hatches are fun to drive. And this one takes it up a step by introducing rear wheel steering, which I think Renault calls it the 4-active control, or 4 control, I'm sorry. So Renault calls it the 4 control. And speaking of the paddles, once again, they are stationary. The paddle shifters are on the column, so they don't move with the steering wheel. Personally, I like that a lot more than paddles that move with the steering wheel, because I know that the right one is always going to be the one for upshift and the left one is always going to be the one for downshift. So for me it's a little bit easier, but again, I'm not a dual clutch person and I have never owned a car. I'm a stick guy, so anything like this really doesn't bother me. But yeah, the fit and finish quality of this car is absolutely amazing. Every material, and you know, this one doesn't have a sunroof. I'm sure you could probably get a sunroof or spec it out some way in Europe. I honestly don't know. Like I said, this is just one of those cars which is it's a huge privilege for me to drive, and it's perfectly road legal. I can thrash it. Now in comfort mode, of course, everything just kind of settles down. The shifts are not as harsh. Not that they're really harsh, but just to put it into perspective here. And the traction control is a lot, you know, it governs a lot harder, and then throttle response is less sharper, and then you also have your auto start-stop function, helps you to save gas, and it's seamless in this car. A lot of cars I've driven, the auto start-stop function kicks in really, really hard when you lift your foot off the brake after having been stopped. So, and the good part about this dual clutch is that unlike a lot of dual clutches in the market and a lot of other cars, this one will not upshift for you unless you're like sitting at the red line for about more than 30 seconds, in which case it will upshift, but otherwise it will absolutely keep stay in gear. Let's thrash it. Oh my god, this thing is crazy. This 1.6 turbo engine is an absolute sweetheart of an engine. Makes really good power, and this car isn't that heavy to begin with. It actually feels very, very light on its feet because it isn't that heavy to begin with. And oh god, this is just so much fun. What a fantastic hot hatch. But I don't know what else to talk about other than the fact that this is forbidden fruit in North America, and I just got to taste some of that, you know, take a bite out of that forbidden fruit, and you know what? I like it. In fact, I really do love it. I would love to own this car. I hope that, you know, Renault and Nissan decide to bring some of these overseas here, and I hope that there is a proper 6-speed manual that's also available on this car. I hope there is. It's a hot hatch. There should be a 6-speed manual or some sort of a manual transmission for sure. And a dual clutch as it is fantastic. No complaints there. And this is all I get to drive, and that's who's complaining about driving a Renault GT, Megane GT in North America. I'm not. I love this car. It's fantastic. The quality, the fit and finish, the power delivery, and then the comfort, the ride quality, you name it. Everything about this car is absolutely fantastic. I have no comments about reliability. Maybe someone in Europe who owns one of these cars can comment on that. This is a 2016 model anyway, and we've never had Renault, so can't comment on, you know, older generations or whatever, how they were reliability wise. But the way this car is, I think it should be pretty reliable. It's a pretty stout vehicle as it is. This one has 30,000 kilometers on it, and for the time that we've had this car, and we bought this brand new, shipped it from Germany, for testing purposes. I won't get into details here, but yeah, it's got 30,000 kilometers. It's been nothing but fun, and I thought I'd make a video of it. So once again, guys, sorry for my horrible camera work, but and I'm gonna mention one last thing. In North America, people have no idea, even a lot of car guys have no idea what this car is, and they just, you know, they look at you, their necks turn, and, you know, their heads turn the entire time, and I just look around and people's heads are turning, and I've had a few people taking photos of this thing too, and there was even a Reddit post of a Renault Megane GT driving around in the Detroit area, and that was me. So I guess it's pretty popular so far. So yeah, I'm gonna keep driving this car for a little bit longer because it's just so enjoyable. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video and comment on what else you want to see. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.